Yeah, Bill Gilbert, 17 Flintlock Drive. Yes, I'm just curious about the status of the current affordable housing numbers. I'm assuming that that will be a subject at the upcoming township committee meeting, since those numbers, filings are due the end of the month. So I'm just curious on the status of that process.
You're correct. You come up with township committee. Township committee has a responsibility to file a resolution either accepting the BCA number that was published or present a resolution for a different number and the reasons for that.
Right,
And that at this juncture, I don't know, Steve, is the latest decision by that judge pushed back that date?
Nothing, no, had no impact whatsoever. January, if I may, Mr. Chair, January 31 is the deadline for every municipality, except for a few municipalities, the qualified urban aid municipalities. But every other municipality who wishes to adopt a binding resolution to be part of the Affordable Housing Dispute Resolution Program for this new fourth round must adopt that resolution. Its governing body, of course, not the planning board, by January 31st, 2025, and then within 48 hours, file it with the program. And they recently came out with rules. The filing is in essence a declaratory judgment action, somewhat similar procedural-wise to what was done back in the third round, which was sort of interesting. I apologize for the sidebar, but it was supposed to be different, yet the procedure is the same. So that binding resolution would be filed with a complaint within 48 hours of adoption by the governing body, and then wait and see if anybody challenges
So
it.
clear, the statement of your obligation is not the plan.
It's not the plan, no, that's just the number.
That tells you you're gonna build a car.
okay.
That's it.
So it's basically,
523 cars.
Well, yeah.
well, it's
Yes.
basically a number, you're saying.
It's
all it is.
the present need and the prospective need obligation for the fourth round for the township.
And-
with the fourth round being the next 10 years, July 1, 2025 to June 30.
Yeah,
And-
if you don't mind, I'm gonna ask John another question.
Sure.
Was that, do we have a number, are we disputing the number, and what is the number we're looking at?
That's probably
We're
under review, right?
investigating the methodology and the accuracy of the state's computation.
Yeah.
The problem is that it's buried in GIS files, and we have spent quite a bit of time going through those files.
Okay.
If I may,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
quickly, I promise. There's three factors: a vacant land alleged, and a factor, an income factor, and equalization of basically equalization value of non-residential property. The mapping seems to be the area in which there's quite a bit of difference of opinion as to accuracy statewide. The other two, candidly, the numbers are taken from, I always say centennial, census data. And it's the kind of math that perhaps even I could do, I think, multiplication. So there's probably, throughout the state, there's probably less fertile ground to address those numbers, but the mapping seems to be where everybody's taking a good hard look.
Well,
That's just general.
you have two circumstances, Warren. In their calculation, they are being DCA, had a 40% increase from 1999 to 2023 in the non-residential base in Warren Township. Now, if you remember, look back, Chubb closed their doors. Warren Corporate Center was empty. What's the name? Technology Drive was half empty. And other than that, there was no new construction in terms of non-residential building, but for a couple of small office buildings. And that's a number that's difficult because they didn't it's difficult to figure out for that 20-year period, 23-year period, how much inflation affected that number.
Okay.
The other part we can't get around. One of the factors is, it's kind of crude, but the formula has always had a component that I call screw the rich, which means that.
Income capacity factor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Income capacity, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
euphemism, yes.
And there's two factors that relate to that in the formula. We can't get around those.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, the average income of Warren Township is more than twice the county average.
Bill, do you contribute to that? All
I
right.
don't know.
The 14% increase they're claiming, is that?
40.
on gross-
40.
40.
40%, I'm sorry. Is that on gross rental income or is that on square footage?
I can't say yes and I can't say no. They've got factors that they list, that they took into account. To me, they probably just simply took the tax filings, added them up, and that's what it was. Now, the township inflates the value of properties on an annual basis.
Yeah.
So, did we really grow?
Right.
In our case, I mean, you have to think about Chubb. Chubb at one point was paying $140 million in taxes. It was 14 the last time they
Okay.
were. Big bite.
Okay, any other comments?